Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be talking about the NFL and the NFL playoffs and all that fun stuff that's coming up. It's starting to get to towards that time, and I'm joined by the one, the only Dylan below me. What's up, buddy?
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of that trial you're covering, and
Yeah,
you know, uh, yeah, and ready to talk some NFL football. I think it's an interesting time, and of course, my Lions don't suck this year, so that's always fun.
yeah.
So, yeah. Um, so I was gonna kind of the plan was I was gonna go through the teams and we'll comment on them and see what's going on. Um, so the I'm sure we'll have different opinions, where they're gonna if they're gonna make it to the playoff and how
Yeah,
far
yeah.
they might or might not go. So I ranked them in order. So the Panthers, these first couple are terrible teams. I mean, they're Bosa emoji. No, Sarah, you're not a Niners fan, are you?
She's a bang bang. Yeah. For those that don't, Sarah P and Josie, two of my mods are San Francisco fans. And Mexi Texi, another mod. Newly appointed is a Dallas Cowboys mod. So I've got a mix. Do you know what I mean? I
Wow,
don't know. So I'm in
wow.
trouble.
None of that's good. None of that's good. Um, so first up we have the Carolina Panthers. They're 2-12. They're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, of course.
Yeah,
Um, Kind of surprising, because they just
yeah,
drafted Bryce Young.
yeah.
There was a lot more hope for the Panthers, uh, but they're bad. Like, they're pretty bad. So,
I, I agree. I agree with you. I'm shocked. I didn't think they would make the playoffs this year. I
mhm,
thought they'd have a losing record, but I thought it'd be a lot higher. I thought they'd have about at least 6 wins in them this
yeah,
year, just because Bryce is new. I thought the fact that they got Thielen in, Frank Reich. The coaching staff was so excited to see that coaching staff. Frank Reich there, then Deuce Staley came in as assistant. What's his name with the quarterbacks coach? Oh, I forget his name now. He's been a quarterback for 16, 17 years, but he's so experienced. He's touted as the next head coach around these places. He was going to be the Houston Texans' next head coach, apparently.
yeah,
But he was there, and I thought, well, he's a good coach. So they surrounded Bryce with a lot of great players. He got Derek Brown and everything in the defensive line. I thought, do you know what, Brian Burns. I thought, oof, they're going to go for it this year. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they're going to do well. But disaster, mate, disaster.
right. You develop Bryce Young. You let him play out his rookie year, and and you hope for better the next year. But I mean,
Yeah,
they were trash.
yeah, yeah. I know
31st
they
in
lost.
the league in passing, 29th in points for, 29th in points against. So they're bad at everything. They're just
Uh,
bad. So,
they lost obviously DJ Moore. That was a
mhm,
huge loss for them. But then they did gain the number one pick from it. So
right.
it's like potatoes in that sense. And he'd rather have a quarterback, I think, in place than anything else. And Chris McCaffrey as well, obviously gone for a season. I thought they might have a lot. The running back room might be a lot better than it actually was, and I was quite disappointed with it this year. So I I don't know what went wrong. I understand why Tepper went with Frank Reich, but you got to look at Steve Wilkes. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
now with San Francisco, bang bang, Sarapi, but he had them rolling at the end of last season. They were rolling.
Yeah.
Um, what happened to it? What happened? Because the team didn't change that much, not that drastically, to to bend over basically. So it's going to be interesting to see what Tepper does now. But I also don't think Tepper is the best owner in the league. I
Right.
don't think he helps. Do you know what I mean? So, but
Mm,
yeah, very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in the Carolina Panthers this year.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they have Thielen, Laviska Chenault, who I always liked. I mean, they have talent. They have talent at,
Mhm.
at positions. It's just, it's,
Didn't.
it was not their year for sure. Um,
Didn't click. No.
yeah. Um, so the next team,
Oh,
surprising, they're at the bottom, given the
unbelievable.
last 20 years. Um,
Unbelievable.
yeah. New England Patriots at 3-11, also eliminated from the playoffs. Again, just a disappointing year. I mean, I don't think there was a lot of promise for it, but Mac Jones doesn't look like he's working out, and
No.
there's not enough talent to cover up the fact that Belichick won't spend the first round pick on an offensive player. So,
Yeah, I
um,
agree.
yeah, and there's nothing on that roster at all. They're all nobodies, or you know, um, they just don't have the talent, and you can't play in today's NFL without talent. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I think they're sorry.
sorry, no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the writing's been on the wall for a few years now, since Tom Brady, obviously, stuff like that. But as you said, you hit the nail on the head. Belichick will not pay for anything. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And he has this kind of, how do you say it? This reputation that he gets rid of players whilst it's still in their prime, just before they like come to the end of their careers. Basically, he's got a talent, but
Yeah,
for some reason, he sucks right now without talent because I mean, Juju Smith, whatever his surname is, I don't remember, but Juju's there. Ezekiel Elliott, past his prime. All these players, like, what you're bringing them all in? What are you doing? I don't get it. The one player I do like that he brought in was Hunter Henry. I do
yeah,
really rate Hunter Henry. I love Hunter Henry, but they brought in what's his name, Gazowski or whatever his name is, tight end from
Gesicki,
Miami.
yeah,
That's the one.
Gesicki.
He was
Yep.
great in Miami, but he's not great at all. He sucks now for
No,
the Patriots. Mac Jones, I'm actually a big fan of Mac Jones, um, but he sucks. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And he came in the league and he was very, very good. I thought he was great with the Alabama. Um, Obviously, he won the national title. Came in his first year. I thought he did really well his first year, and then he's just regressed because you got to put him Belichick because when you got um, I don't remember the names. I've got it in front of me, but they put those two guys as his offensive coordinators last
yeah,
year. What are they doing? I mean, no quarterback unless you're Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers is ever going to succeed with those two as your OCs. Do you know what I mean? But then this year, I thought, okay, Bill O'Brien's there. He might come back, but his confidence is gone. And once you lose your confidence, that's it. You're done. He just needs to get away now and start somewhere else. But then you got Zappi coming in. He's full of confidence, and you can see that the difference in him. So um, I'm with you, man. He's an absolute overhaul.
yeah,
I'm just shocked though because you still think of it as it's like Bill Belichick.
yeah.
Like he doesn't finish second, this side, But I just think it shows the influence that Tom Brady had in that side, and how much did he hide on the kinks?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, So I am shocked. I'm happy, but I'm shocked. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's good for teams like the Patriots. They've been so successful for so many years. I think it's great for them to start basically to go through what you've been through for so many years,
Right.
essentially
Right.
suck for a bit. Do you know what I mean? Good on them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it's just, there was the question: is it Tom Brady or is it Bill Belichick? I think we have our answer. It was Tom
Yeah,
Brady. He went elsewhere and won a Super Bowl, and the
yeah.
Patriots, in what, 3, 4 short years, just have went to hell. I mean, we
Yeah.
have retreads and people that won't be on the roster next year. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they look bad. They look really bad.
What,
And
what, sorry, I was just what do you think of Ezekiel Elliott then? What do you think of him?
he hasn't been good. I think that uh anytime you leave the Dallas offensive line, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
as a running back, that I
yeah.
think that was a lot of his thing is behind the best offensive line in football, and of course you can run behind that, but when he's not getting help, he doesn't look like the same back. So
No, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Obviously, I'm new to all this, but I see what you see there, and that's good.
Mm.
So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then another surprising team. This team actually has talent, or did. The Cardinals, Phoenix,
Mm.
Arizona, whatever the hell they're called these days, Arizona, I guess.
Cardinals, here we
Um,
go. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray. eh, There was questions coming out. He was too small, small hands, small everything. He's
yeah,
really proved them right.
yeah.
I think. I think when you get the mobile quarterback and put him into a system coming out of college, because college is so different from the NFL, you have this like 3 year period where a mobile quarterback can kind of surprise people.
Yeah.
Um, and I think once you pass that, then it all comes back to earth, and you have your exceptions. You have your Patrick Mahomes. You have Josh Allen is a more of a pocket passer, but um, he had that scrambling ability. I think if you don't transition to being a quarterback and not a running quarterback in that 3 4 year window, then it's just hang it up. It's over with. So,
Yeah.
um, and unfortunately, that looks like the way he's going. And again, they have talent. There's talent on this roster. Um,
Mhm.
so another really disappointing season. So
I agree. For me, I I think you nailed it on the head just now with what you just said about Kyler and his 3 years. I think first year, obviously, wow, it was good. What I don't like him, and Mexi Texas said that something in here about small everything. Like, he's obviously got some complexion about himself because the way he acted, um, you know, on the sidelines when Cliff Kingsbury was there in his last year and stuff, and he was like a baby,
mhm,
and he was going after Hopkins, he was going after Kingsbury. For me, for me personally, see you later, mate. See you later.
yeah,
That is toxic for the team, and I think the Cardinals, they're all in now. They paid him. They're just like, well, not all in, but you know what I mean. They can go about this, I suppose, differently. But
right,
they just said, no, Kyler's our guy, so we don't care about that toxic culture. I just when I saw that, I was like, you're done for. Kingsbury's lost the locker room. If you're going
mhm,
after someone like Hopkins and shouting at him and having a go at him, that guy garners the most respect that most people will have for a player in the league. You cannot
right,
go after that kind of guy. As soon as you do that, you're the problem. And I don't think he's going to last that long in the league. For me, they should have gone moved off him last year. And for me, I mean, they're not going to, but I would definitely get him out of there this year. Because there's some value there. I'll just be like, get out because okay, he
right,
hasn't been started. You had Dobbs started and Dobbs did well, whatever. But for me, the main issue, you said talent in that team. There is. I
mhm,
agree with you. But when you've got that toxicity with your captain, with your main guy who thinks he's the main guy, as in he is better than everybody else. That's the problem. That's the root of the problem, and they're not going to get better until he's gone. Now, obviously, watch them next year to be contenders, but you
yeah,
know, but now I think he is a massive issue for the Cardinals because they've got a good running game. They've got Hollywood Brown, a few of the players I don't remember names now, but yeah, I think they've got a good team, not an excellent team, but I think they've got a good basis of a team. But I think Kyler is the problem personally, and I don't think he's good enough. I think he's still got the legs, but a couple more years, a couple more knocks, he's going to lose the legs. Then what's he going to do? So
right, right. I mean, eventually you have to make that transition, and I think that's where a lot of these running quarterbacks make an error. Is eventually you have to make that transition, and
yeah,
and when you have early success, you say, "Why do I need to change anything? I'm one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he was everywhere, and everybody was talking about him." I get it, but yeah, you have to have more foresight than that to be able to
yeah,
take advantage of that. So,
I agree.
um,
I agree.
yeah, but they're 3-11 and eliminated from the playoff picture. So,
What do you think about Dobbs though? Have you
uh,
got any opinion on him? I wonder if we've
I
got the same
don't
similar position.
I don't think he's a long-term answer.
No,
Um, but I mean, he the problem is when you have the hot hand, I think it's more of teams don't have the scouting reports or teams don't have anything to look at to kind of evaluate him.
yeah.
So I think that's how some players like that can get under the radar and really kind of um, look like they're world beaters and then not be. So
Well, it's
uh,
proven. He did that with obviously the Cardinals. Then he went to the Vikings, and look at that game he played. He was like, my God, this guy's a superstar.
yeah,
I think that every team should be knocking on his door next year, going, we need a backup quarterback. Let's sign you up, type of thing. He'd be one of the first people well, not maybe, he'd be definitely top three backups I'd want in my team next year.
yeah,
Because I think he can come on and turn it on for a game or two. I wouldn't definitely would not want him as a starter, but if you got confidence in like your Josh Allen or something, Buffalo should be knocking on his door, going, you know, you can run, you can pass. If we need you for a game or two, then you'll do us, type of thing.
right,
So,
right,
but I think that's where he is. He's a backup. You don't want him playing more than 2, 3 games a season. That's it. You know.
right.
Otherwise, yeah, he's not good. So,
Yeah. Um, and I mean, he's been he's been all right. But yeah, and they don't have anybody on the roster. Their other quarterback is Clayton Tune. They have Kyler Clayton Tune.
yeah,
Um, and they're at the top of the draft, so they're going to be one of those teams that, oh, we should take a quarterback way too high,
yeah.
which I already have a problem with, but
Well, we'll go into that in another video. I can't
yeah,
wait to go into that with you on another video. Honestly, I can't wait to hear your takes on that.
yeah, we'll save that one for later. But they're
Definitely.
going to
Yeah.
be one of those teams in the market. So, uh, all right, good man, bun. He's a good dude.
Thank you, Nando.
He's a good
Thank you to Shelley as well for passing my link over. Hello, everybody. There's some people I do recognise here because you do come over with Mighty, but some of those I don't recognise. Hello to you all. Lovely, lovely to meet you all. So thank you.
Oh
There's a lot of
no,
people.
Ghost here now.
Ghost. Here we are. Yeah, Ghost
Damn
Street's
it.
here.
um, so next up we have the Washington Commanders. They're the Redskins.
Wow.
Always be the Redskins.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, I'm with
they're
you.
also
I'm with
4
you.
and 10 and eliminated. Um, and I don't know. They're always so Washington is every single year. They make some of the right moves, and then you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I they don't do anything terribly well. They have a bunch of mid-tier players that probably are getting paid too much money. Sam Holland doesn't look like a bad quarterback, but he's not a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
Um, you have a good running back room. You have pretty good receivers, Dotson, Samuel, McLaurin. I mean, you have talent at wide receiver, um, and then the defense isn't terrible. So they're they're a team that is going to be there, but doesn't need to be. They could very well be, you know, uh, pushing for a playoff spot, and they never are. They're always a letdown. So
Man, I took a big sigh when you brought this up. It's I don't get it. Like Riverboat Ron, he's gone. At the end
mhm,
of the season, obviously he's gone. Um, they brought EB in, the enemy, which to be quite honest with you, I think he's done okay. I think he's done all right. Because I'm the same with you. I don't think Sam Howell is a franchise quarterback. I think that Sam Howell looks good at the minute, but I think EB makes him look good.
yeah,
In some cases, but again, I'm basing that on not many games. You know what I mean? It'd be just see what happens next season if they're still both there. Um, but you just named 3 wide receivers, right?
mhm,
They and anybody in the league would snap that and go, "We'll take them. We'll
yeah,
take those as our 3. We'll put them as our starters. Happy days." You know,
mhm,
um, that is a great room.
Yeah.
within that. The funny fact is, there's also another wide receiver there. I don't remember his name now, but I do know that he's injured this season, but fun fact anyway, he is dating Zach Wilson's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is so. So obviously he was Zach Wilson's best friend
Hmm.
in BYU, and he obviously plays for Washington now. He's not a starter, but he does the punt return or kick return or something like that
Okay.
normally. But Zach's ex is stunning. So I've been injured for a year with her as well, if I'm being honest with you. So
Yeah.
she is great. So anyway, that's a fun fact there. Anyway, so fair play to him. But I thought they were tanking as soon as they got rid of Chase Young and is it Allen they got rid of to
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
He looks like a new guy in Chicago.
Hmm.
Well, I'm just like, what's happening? The defense should be they should be purring with those players there, but they get rid of those two players. I think they could demolish the defense. There's people that
Yeah.
are not happy. They're just like, well, what's going on? As soon as you get rid of those two players, I'm not saying they were like Chase Young was at the top of his game right now because he wasn't. He's coming back from injury stuff, but he's a
Right.
big name and he has got plays in him. And as soon as you say, right, see you later, what's that tell all the other players? They're like, well, they've given up for the season, so why bother type of thing. So I don't know. I disappointed. I think with the team they've got, they should be making playoffs, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I I think they've well truly underachieved this year. And yes, I don't know what to say, but I don't understand it with that wide receiver group. I don't get it. And
Yeah.
also the running back, as you said, I don't get it. They should
Right.
be purring. So, and whether it is I'm giving EB too much credit, I don't know, but I don't know. What is the issue? You're probably right though, but somehow he's not franchise quarterback, and that plays a big part in it, probably.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then so the new hotness is your defensive ends. You had two of the best in probably in football in Montez Sweat and Chase Young opposite of him. Like how
mhm.
were you not how could anybody throw the football? Like
Yeah,
you had the best two edges and y- if not two of the best edge rushers in the game, you had the best combination of edge rushers in the game.
oh,
And it's just puzzling. Some of them sometimes they fall apart. You can have the best team on paper and it just falls apart, and that seems to be what their 4-10 and already eliminated from the playoff season looks like. So, uh,
it'd be good to do. I said we're doing. It'd be good to do a little video about what head coach and stuff they need, what they need to change. That I mean, that's a separate video, but it would be interesting because I do think Washington, if they keep most of the players, they are the team every head coach should be looking at. We
yeah,
just spoke about Panthers. That's a team no one should be looking at.
right,
As a
right,
head coach, this is a team people should be looking at. But I think that's another video. I'd be intrigued to hear your take on some of the up and coming head coaches because I've got some ideas as well. So it'd be good to do another. I mean, I'm throwing out videos here. We'll do a video on this, that, but it would be good. I love all this chat.
yeah,
So
yeah, for sure. No, I do too. This is awesome. And then so we go to another team, the New
wow,
York Jets. Um,
wow,
this can be summed up in one word: Rodgers.
yeah,
I think they
yeah,
would be completely different with Aaron Rodgers
yeah,
under center. Um,
yeah. Sucks, man. Do you know what I mean? You sucked because I think with Rogers even you need it. You what you say for I think 2 years he signed for something like that. You need that first year to get continuity to get understanding of players. I think next year if he'd have played this year, they would have been
yeah,
wow. They would have been a real. I think they would have possibly reached playoffs this year with Rogers, but next year they would have been purring. I think.
yeah,
Um, you know, um, because they obviously still got the O line. I mean, the online are letting everybody through with seats, so I'm not sure what's going on. But again, you've got good running back room there. You've got what's his name, Wilson as a wide
mhm,
receiver. You got, as you said, Rogers is old wide receivers. They're all there playing, so his guys are all there. Tight ends wise, okay, CJ is out injured. I can't say his surname, but CJ is injured. Um, but yeah, defense wise, my God, Like, can you imagine picking that defense up to any team? You're
Yeah,
a Super Bowl contender. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, you should be.
God,
I mean,
yes, yes,
Chauncey Sauce Gardner is probably the best corner in the league. Um,
yeah,
and it's interesting to see best players on teams this bad. And they are this bad because of and there's always the what would it have been? Would it have been different with Aaron Rodgers? I think absolutely. I think they're top of the AFC with Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, yeah. And
And
if they're
Wilson
not,
hasn't
then
been bad. He just hasn't been good. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. And if they're not top, they're like close to the top. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously he's still got to play behind that O line, but what he's got is wisdom, experience. He'll get that ball out a lot quicker. He'll throw it away if he needs to. Do you know what I mean? He'll be frustrated, but he's got a lot more experience. Where Zach is just holding on to that ball all the time. It
yeah,
seems like it. So too long. So that's why he gets sacked. Then do you know what I mean? You just got to get out there all the time. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I'm not sure that I'd say they came first, but if they don't come first, they're super close to it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So, in my opinion, so in that sense, I do agree with you. But as I say, next year is a year I think that they would have propelled to become challengers for the Super Bowl. As well as just people might not like that, but I do think they would have gone quite far next year, keeping that team together. I mean, now I think next year's gonna be different because we're still getting Rodgers in. He just still doesn't know the players. He's still going to be new to all of them. So I don't know. But I'm not kind of keep that defense together. How much cap space have they got? How much doing? So I love to put that in because people in the chat are probably going, what the hell are these two talking about? So these Jets are never going to make a Super Bowl. Oh,
well,
jeez.
I mean, they'll have a high pick with some good offensive linemen at the top of the draft. So they
Yeah,
could fill some holes there. Um,
definitely.
yeah. So something to look out for next year. This team, I really hate this next team. And oh shit. Um, the Jets are 5-9 and mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. This
Yeah.
team just irritates me. Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. Man, even
Um,
know.
just invest in a quarterback. Invest in a
Yeah.
quarterback. Like they blew so many opportunities at winning games, winning titles, winning anything. Derrick Henry was an incredible running back.
Was, yeah.
Yeah. But for some reason you left Tannehill back there to just run around like his hair's on fire, be a game manager. It just and then they go this year and add D.D. Hopkins. They add uh, other wide receivers, Traylon Burks out of the draft. Um, so it's like what what was the
Oh,
plan here?
man.
Have
Uh,
him throw him to himself? So
I know, man. Do you know what? As soon as AJ Brown left, it was like, what's going on here? You had
right.
Henry in his prime
Hmm.
that they've destroyed his career. Basically,
Yeah.
he's on the downhill going to be now, which is running backs are. Do you know what I mean? AJ
Hmm.
Brown's gone. Then personally, I love this person, the Titans. He's my favorite person. He's a coach I'd love to play for. Is Vrabel, right? I love
Hmm.
Vrabel, right? I do love him, but like I, d- I mean, I think the players want to play for him, but I'm not sure the coordinators, especially obviously offensive coordinators, are good enough. Obviously, what's going on? I mean, he's a great leader of men, but come on, Vrabel, what's going on? You get it
Right.
together somewhere. You're right what you said about they need to get a quarterback, but
Yeah.
whose fault's that? I mean, obviously John Robinson's now gone, and I'm not sure what the new GM's called. Obviously, got the Will Levis now. He looks good, but
Hmm.
again, it goes back to the whole Dobbs effect of what you said about they can't game plan for him at the minute. They don't know much about him. So
Right.
next season will be when we know more about him. Um, but even again, the defense, cracking defense, or they used to be anyway. Now it's
Hmm.
like they're shot to pieces. Taylor One retired. Well, not retired. He left, and
Hmm.
they don't seem to have replaced him properly. And man, Tannehill, how the hell is he still a quarterback in the NFL? Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ! So this thrown darts. And Malik came in. Obviously now Will Levis has come in. If Will Levis is not the guy, then Jesus, what are they doing? I just don't. I
Right.
say just need a whole clear out. I mean, I just. But where do you start with a clear out? I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you start by trying to get something out of Derrick Henry, but I think that for sure, I think you have to move Henry. He had the third most carries in the NFL yet again. So um, why you're still feeding him the ball when there's obviously nothing around him? Um, and yeah, you keep wasting mid round resources on guys like Malik Willis or Will Levis,
yeah,
and it's not ever going to pay off. Like it may, but you're taking a chance with a core with a pretty good core, and you're wasting a lot of players, and
yeah.
that's always just frustrating. So
And that's why that's why I get frustrated with them. I'd say maybe I've got rose-tinted glasses when it comes to Vrabel. I just like that Dan Campbell, Vrabel kind of coach. I love that motivator of men. But maybe is he the right guy? I don't know. Maybe I've got. Maybe I like him too much. Maybe he's a problem. I don't know. Maybe he's a problem. I don't know. But I love Vrabel so much. The same way I love Dan Campbell. I like that type of coach.
yeah,
But is that the right coach? Personally, I think so. But something's wrong with it. So they need to
right,
fix it quite
right,
quickly.
and I mean Vrabel, he wants to play defense and run downhill, and that's great, but you still have to have a quarterback that can make throws, especially today. Um,
Yeah,
could you have done that 20 years ago? Yeah, he would have been a great team and probably won a dozen Super Bowls. But
yeah,
in today's
yeah.
NFL, you have to have somebody that can bail you out with the decent ball every now and again. So,
No, I agree.
yep.
I agree.
But another eliminated 5-9 team. Um, and then we go to.
Oh, Jesus. The Chargers.
I mean, the good part is they just fired everybody,
Yeah,
literally everybody.
yeah.
Um,
Jesus. Talk of a
and
waste of talent. Jesus.
and they're technically still alive in the playoff picture, even though they're 5-9 based on tiebreakers. But they're dead in the water. They're out.
I mean, but the question is, right? This is the first team, right? I just don't get it. I just don't
Yeah,
understand it. They got the talent. I mean, if I hear one more time about Herbert, right, it's starting to wind me up a bit. Say he's the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy. Jesus Christ, he's got the talent. They're all
yeah,
there. So
yeah,
if he's not the guy, then what the hell is the problem?
right.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't get it. Rashawn Slater, he's got a good O line. Do you know what I mean? He's not a bad O line at all. Rashawn Slater is a Pro Bowler. Uh, he's highly regarded. I think that people think highly of that O line. He's got a good running back next to him, Eckler.
Yeah,
He's got wide receivers. What's his name that we drafted from TSU? I forget his name now, but
Quentin
he's been a
Johnson.
flop. There we are. He's been a flop. He's got obviously the two other wide receivers again. Sorry, they slipped my mind now who they are.
Keenan Allen is the veteran, and then he
There
has.
we are.
I mean, he has Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer. Um, yeah, I mean, great wide receiver room. Their offense is should be tops in the league. It's
Yeah,
not, but it should be.
Kellen
And the
Moore.
defense isn't bad at all. Like
No,
defense is pretty damn good. Uh,
what? I just don't get it. What? They signed Kellen Moore to probably a head coach contract,
mhm.
essentially, this year. Look, you got Bosa and you got oh geez, what's his name? From Chicago. Uh, forget his name now. Jesus.
Can't
You,
remember his name either.
52 or what's his number?
Cleo Mack.
That's
Is that
it.
who you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that
Mhm.
duo.
Mhm.
Come on, people. Doing. I know they flopped with JC Jackson. That was a major flop. But the most of the defense, they're good. They're really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I just don't. I just don't get it. I think it must have been Staley. It must have been Staley.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
you'd think so. I mean, Joey Bosa's there. I mean, the team is just, and here's the problem. They're nearing the end of their. I mean, teams go through a reset because you can't keep paying people because of the cap.
mhm,
They're near that reset. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
what are you gonna do? I mean, they'll have pieces to sell. Maybe they can rebuild, but they don't
I
draft well. They don't
This
draft
is the
well.
thing. It's surprised. It's surprised because what's his name? Tom. I don't forget his surname. He was the GM there. He's been there for
Mm,
years, and he's so well regarded around the league. He'll pick up a job straight away because he's so well regarded. But the draft picks have sucked. Do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I don't get it. And whether that is it because of the draft, him drafting, or is it because they can't the coaching? I don't get it.
right.
Because they got that guy from TCU. Again, sorry, I forget his name. But before the draft, you'd say, "Oh, that guy, he's probably number one wide receiver in the
Yeah,
draft, or close
Johnson.
to,
Yeah,
if not." Yeah.
right.
So what's happened? So in some ways, they've drafted correctly. Probably just is it coaching?
Just can't develop, maybe? Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be coaching. We'll see, because
yeah.
obviously they fired everybody at halftime of that laughable Raiders game, but
Was it? When did they fire them? The next day
halftime
or
of the Raiders
shut?
game. Yeah.
No, shut up.
Yeah. Yep. So,
I've never heard that.
yeah.
Genuinely, huh? What? They went into the locker rooms and said you sacked.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, they were getting killed. What did that game end up being? 63-21? Yeah.
Yeah.
They the reports were that they fired him at halftime. So,
Did
uh,
Staley even come out the second half then?
I'm not sure. I didn't actually watch the game. I just read the reports that said they fired him at halftime. I don't know if he finished and they're like, "You're gone anyways," but yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
How
it was
harsh
a
is
rough game.
that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Jesus.
Going in for your halftime speech, "Oh, you're fired."
Oh, wow, wow. But it is what he's deserved. He should have been gone last year, in fairness,
Yeah,
Daly. I'm not going. I can't comment too much on the GM side of it, but I know he'll be fine. But Staley,
yeah.
apparently, Khalil Mack rates him as the best defensive coach he's ever had. Um,
Huh,
when he was a defense coach, then.
okay.
So he was positional coach for Mack in Chicago, and he wrote something on the jersey or something, and Khalil Mack said he's the best defensive coach I've ever had.
Wow.
So he's obviously very good in his
Yeah,
position and stuff like that. Just not as a head coach. I think his philosophies when he watches documentaries and stuff. He's a philosopher. And it's like
mm,
just sometimes cut out the BS, man. Do you, know what I
right,
mean? Do you want a guy to say about roses and petals, or do you want a guy to go, "We're going to hit you, you're
right,
going to come back up. We're going to smash you again at the
right.
kneecaps. We're going to smash you." That's what you want as a player. You
Yeah.
know, you don't want people like, "Oh, the roses are red, violets are blue, whatever, whatever. Fuck you," type of thing. We don't want that
Right,
stuff.
right.
So it must have been him, man. But next year, if Herbert sucks again next year, I mean, sorry, but what's going on? I don't understand it. I
Yeah,
don't. You
yeah.
know.
They're easily the most disappointing team, and they'll be the next to be eliminated.
Yeah, deservedly so.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
but so before we go, sorry, one thing that sucks. So I don't like to see Callum Moore was off the head coaching gig
mm,
temporarily, and he said no to it. I can sort of understand why he said no, but man, that would worry me if I was like at the team looking for a new head coach. Like everyone knows you're going to suck, man. Everyone knows you got no chance. But this is a chance for you to put a stamp on a team for like 3, 4 games and just go, "Do you know what? Everyone out there thinks we're going to lose, guys. Let's
right.
really show them." Do you know what I mean? Let's show. unless you're what you're made of, Kellen Moore, as a head coach. Don't
Yeah.
pussy out of it. And for me, he's a pussy because he just
Right.
pussied out of it because he knows he's going to lose the next few games. As for
Or
me,
is
that's
it
a
that
red
much?
flag.
Or is it that much of a mess in between the front office and what's going on there that he's like, yeah, I want nothing to do with this shit. So that could be too.
Maybe,
So,
maybe,
but
yeah.
yeah, he's always been very timid, Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I don't see him as a head coach, if I'm being honest.
No,
He's touted as one. I'm like, what do you guys see? I don't see it, But
but
do you know what I
he'll
mean?
get a job eventually. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think he should remain a coordinator for sure. So
yeah, I agree. I agree. Sorry, man.
no worries. Uh,
The Bears.
Chicago Bears.
The
So
Bears.
my
In
number one
this year,
rule:
yeah.
never draft an Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah. So it is right. Ask you a question before we go into this then. Because obviously as a Detroit fan, who is your most hated team rival? Is it Chicago or who is it? Who do you hate
Uh,
the most?
the entire NFC North.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I really Green Bay is a tough one to stomach because they've had our number for the last
Yeah.
25 years. But Chicago's pretty bad too. Like not a not a big fan of the Bears either. So uh, yeah, probably a split between the
That's fair.
Bears and the Packers. But
That's fair.
the Bears are more fun because they're more competitive. The Packers usually just make us look stupid. So, but here's another team that has young talent.
Yeah.
Not as good as the previous. Also 5-9. Have looked good in some games. Have looked bad in some games. Uh, but they look like they're picking up speed and starting to be more formidable. And they have good receivers. DJ Moore, Pokemet's looking like a great pick. Um,
Yeah.
St. Brown, Equinemius St. Brown from Green
Yeah.
Bay. They, I think they're a team that's trending in the right direction. And not next year, but maybe 2 years, they might be one of those
Mhm.
teams to kind of look out for. But
You're gonna hate me, man.
mhm,
I love this team. I I think this team. In a sense, I'm not supporting them, but I think what you just said is 100% right. I think
yeah,
this team is going. I think they try. I feel like I'm on my own a little bit. In I know you said about don't draft an Ohio State quarterback. I'm not
mhm,
down on Fields. I'm not down on him. I don't think he's as bad as what everyone else is. But I've got a take on that, which I'd run past you again, and when we do some mock stuff and things like that, because we will come
okay,
up about Fields. Um, I think they got a couple of pieces short of the O line. I think shore that up, they'll be fine. I think you're right. The wide receiver group, if they can pick up maybe one more wide receiver, I think they're solid there.
yeah,
Running back, okay. Defensively, man, they've just changed all of a sudden.
yeah,
Halfway through the season, they've just come out somewhere. I don't know. Was it because of that transfer?
yeah,
From Washington to Chicago, but they're playing. Um, I I don't know. I think these guys are the underdogs. I think I I like them. I rate them. I think they're gonna. Woo! Because if you think about it, I know you should never look at stuff, but there's some close games. They lost against obviously the Lions, which they should never have lost that game. When they
yeah.
did lose it, that's set them. And who they lost against obviously last week. Who they lose to last week?
Who did they
Was
lose to
it?
this week? The
It was
Browns by
the
3.
Browns. Yeah, because of that throw in he caught it. He
Yeah,
caught it. And he went, you know what I mean? But then it's their own fault. They should never be in that position against the Lions and the Browns. They seem to switched off. So I think that's the inexperience of them. I think again, this is not a popular stance, but I like Eberflus. I like him.
okay,
I think the players play for it.
yeah,
I think he's been handed a a crap deal. I do not think Getsy's good. I don't think he's good at all. I think he's one phase Getsy, that's it. If we go
Yeah,
to trouble, I think he doesn't know what to do. So he needs a
right.
new OC. If you think about it, Eberflus has got to be a head coach this year and a DC this year. Because
Mhm.
obviously, whatever happened, that DC's gone. I don't know obviously what happened, but he's now gone. They seem to play for him. That,
Yeah.
that defense, since he took over, they're playing for him. And if you, when he was the Colts, they're playing for him. Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So they like him. I just think he needs a solid DC coach and in a way, a very up and coming OC
Yeah.
because that's got, like, in a way, what I thought might be good there was Joe. He's with the Bills now. Joe, not Joe Burrow, obviously. Joe, he used to be the OC with Carolina Panthers, and then he became a QB coach with the Buffalo Bills. Now he is the OC, interim OC with the Buffalo Bills. Joe Brady. Joe Brady.
Right. Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's who I thought would be good next year until he obviously took over the OC with Buffalo. I thought if you get Joe Brady in there and can work his magic in there, I think it would be solid. Obviously, he's not going to go there, but if you get that type of OC in there, that's creative. I think they would be a team next year, man. I
Yeah.
generally think they would be a rolling team, um, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to get rid of Eberflus. They're going to, there's. I think it's going to be a whole store of changes coming with that. But I just want to say that because I don't think they're as bad as what I think. I think Eberflus is much better than what people give him credit for. Just my personal uh, shout out to him because I think he will be gone. So,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't personally. But
Um. So Chicago's problem is they cut on people too early. Like,
yeah,
you heard at the beginning of the season, oh, we're gonna move on from Justin Fields, and then obviously now they're high on him. He still hasn't been great, but um,
no,
they started so poor that you know, um, and they've looked good the last couple weeks. So
yeah.
despite some
I
losses,
think it's what could have been. I think it is this season, but that's why I would love to see them one more year. But that's why
yeah,
I think the conversation with Justin Fields, though, I don't want to go into it here with you because I know that's a part of the conversation when it comes to the draft. Do you know what I mean? I
yeah,
think there's a conversation to be had there. So yeah. But anyway, they're out. Well, they will be out if they're not out
yeah,
already.
they will be out. They're 5-9. They'll be out too. Um, God, I hate the Giants. Uh,
Mm. I don't like the new QB either. That what's the matter? What's the matter? Tony.
DeVito.
I don't like him. I think he's a cock.
Yeah.
I don't like him. Don't
Well, and
like him.
then another team that why the hell would you ever take Daniel Jones? Why? Why? What? Why draft Daniel Jones? And coaching decisions, and I mean, again, they have talent with Saquon Barkley, who looks like a decent outside the
Yeah,
tackles runner.
yeah.
Um, you also have, I mean, no, I guess they don't. This is a team that should be down a lot further on the like. This should be a two and whatever team, not a 5-9 team. Um,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Frauds.
God, there, there's no talent there outside of your running back room. You have no talent. There's no talent at wide receiver. Your defense is trash. Um, your
The only
quarterbacks,
person I would like in the defense, Dexter Lawrence. That's the only player I like.
yeah,
Literally the only player I like in the defense.
yeah,
There's no one else. Don't give me anybody else. Give me Dexter
right,
Lawrence. Thank you. Even Isaiah Simmons, he was supposed to be the top prospect. Obviously, he went to the Cardinals,
yeah,
but he's a bust. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, but Dexter Lawrence, I'll take him, but take him out. Then 100%, I'm with you. What a
And just
complete
trash the
bunch
rest of
of
the team. Like,
yeah,
they should be excommunicated from the league with how bad they
yeah,
are. Like, they're
yeah,
just laughable. They
yeah.
they do nothing well. Um,
The only other player I would say that I've come around to, and I think he is actually a really, really good player, is Andrew Thomas now.
yeah,
As the old lineman. But he was trash at the start. I thought, well, that's a
right,
bust. But in fairness, I slated him after his first year. But actually, what I've seen him so far, he's actually been very, very good. So
Right.
I'll stick with him. Stick with him. Running back room, Dexter Lawrence, get rid of everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's probably what they should do. But
Yeah.
I mean, they're mismanaged. They're terrible team, terrible organization, and I don't know. I mean, good things happen to good people, I guess. Um, I hate the Giants.
I don't get
They're
it.
so bad. They're so bad.
Don't get it. What do you think about Dable?
Uh,
Because
I
it
don't.
might. Right, so I think that you think. For me looking out, thinking about you, right? I think that you would like Dable, right? But because
Yeah,
he's with the Giants, you'd hate him, or not hate
yeah,
him, but you got a bit of a dislike for him. But if you play for, if he's a coach for everybody else, you'd love Dable, I think, because he's a
yeah,
man's man. But because he plays the Giants, that's how I read it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
from the little time I spent with you.
yeah. Yeah. Playing for the. I mean, taking a job with the Giants, like that knocks you down a couple pegs in my book. They're just they're just bad. They're just a bad program. So anybody that would compromise by going there is that already puts you a peg back in my book
Mhm.
because they're just not a good organization. And I get the
Well,
hero mentality of I'm gonna go fix it, but they they're
no,
they're not fixable right now. So
they're gone. I mean,
yeah,
you nailed it. You nailed it when you said, "How do you draft Daniel Jones at 6?"
right,
I mean, as soon if David Gettleman, right, if you're in that room and David Gettleman says, "Yeah, okay, guys, we're going to take Daniel Jones at 6," you should be everybody should be going, "Fucking hell!"
right,
Just grabbing that and going, "Don't give him the phone! Don't give him the
right,
phone! Just no way! What's the plot?" Do you know what I mean? So,
right.
I
And if he does get the phone, you walk out. You'd be like,
yeah,
okay, I'll
yeah,
find a new job.
you're done. Yeah,
Like
you're done.
I'm gone. No.
Go to the
Um.
Jets. Jets will take you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Same offices. Just walk across
Yeah,
walk across the hall. So,
yeah,
um, yeah. But the Giants are just bad. So, and we spent more time on them than we should have.
yeah.
So, so that breaks down all the teams that are at least statistically out of it. So we get into 3, 6, and 8 teams here that have a very small, but still have a chance of making the playoffs if they went on a run and magic happens.
Mhm.
One of them is the Raiders. Talk about a team that's mismanaged, with the whole Mayock and what's his name, old Tampa Bay coach, like
Yeah, I know.
giving
I know what
them
you mean.
lifetime contracts and like they, if reality TV decided to put an NFL football team on the field, it would be the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, they and again, not a bad lineup, not a bad lineup.
Not not
I mean,
now, no.
it they have they have good players in certain positions, um, but it's another one of those where they go get people that are flashy or they're a fan team. They are
Mhm.
they're the uninformed fan that's like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo is so good, let's go grab him, and he isn't. He isn't. He was part of that system there. Um, and then, they have Lion retread Amir Abdullah at running back. Josh Jacobs is a decent back. Zamir White seems like he's pretty decent this year.
Yeah.
The rookie. But the same thing with let's go get Devontae Adams, who's what, 38 now. So I mean,
Yeah, flashy,
they
yeah.
just they just make bad choices. And it is. It's a fantasy football team or a reality TV football team that somebody would do. Um, and and there's such a rich history there. Silver and Black was, I mean, they were a formidable team for such a
Yeah,
long time, and
tough team,
now,
yeah.
you know,
I'm with you, man. I'm high on a couple of players, maybe higher than you. Um, oh Jesus, now I forget the names now. Hunter Renfro.
okay,
I'm a big fan of Hunter Renfro. because I think he's agile. He can do stuff. I'm with you when it comes to Adams. I think what are we doing? What we
Right.
wasting all that money? What are we doing? I mean, yes, good player, whatever, but I mean, not now, not now.
Mhm.
I did like the move with Jacoby Myers. I did like that move because I thought he was good with the Patriots last year. I think it's Jacoby Myers, his name is.
Mhm.
But he's not really done anything this year.
Right.
They did not like Hunter Renfro for whatever reason. Um, but I like it because I think he's a grafter. He's one of
Yeah.
those gets the ball. Like in some ways, he reminds me a little bit. I don't think he's as good as Armand St. Brown. Um,
Yeah.
but he's similar. He's across the middle. He'll get the ball. He's got better feet than anybody else in the league. But he's Mr. Reliable, I would say. So I like him. Um, and I like the running back room that you listed,
Mhm.
and I like the edge rusher. What's his name?
Max Crosby.
That's Matt Crosby. It's probably one or two other pieces, but that's about it. It's very similar to the Giants. There's not many people I would stay there, like stick
Right.
with. I mean, Aidan Cornell, they say, but I mean, for me personally, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he's
No.
just he'll do for now. Um, but I think when they drafted, I think it's 2019, 2020, clean, was it Colleen Farrell? They drafted him at 4. I remember looking at it going, what the WTF? I don't swear on the channel, it's not 2 hours. WT, what are we doing? I didn't get that. I was like, are they looking to tank? Because I don't get it. Number
Right.
4.
Right.
And that year they drafted 3 first rounders. Obviously Josh Jacobs, but then the other guy, I don't remember his name. He's out of the league now anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
They it's as if they wanted to get bad boys, and like obviously most people they drafted are either in jail or they're out of the league.
Right.
Now, do you know what I mean? Henry Ruggs out of the league. Do you know what I mean? There's other players, I don't remember the names now, but they're out of the league. Just disaster. The one shining light I thought they had, and I listened a lot to Will Compton and Taylor Lewan on Busting with the Boys,
Okay.
and their podcast, I listened to that a lot, and they were talking about Rich Bisaccia, about how he took over and however important. And that's why I like it that your Dan Campbell's, your Frables and stuff, because Bisaccia is the same mould.
Mhm.
And he said, please play for him. And he didn't get that job. As soon as he didn't get that job, I was like, the Raiders are done for. They're
Yeah.
done for. You needed a hard ass guy in there like Bisaccia, and they didn't give it to him. They got a flashy guy like wherever his name was, but he's now gone. It's like, but I did hear a story about them though that Dave Ziegler wanted this year in the draft just gone, had a deal in place to go up to one or two I believe,
Okay.
in the draft to get CJ Stroud.
Okay.
But Josh McDaniels vetoed it and said
Huh.
no. And it's like, I feel sorry for Ziegler because, like, actually, he might have been a competent GM. Maybe,
Right.
I don't know. We won't know because he didn't really get a chance to draft because rumor has it that Josh McDaniels only took the job when he was told, yeah, you 100% running on the team. You can do everything. Personnel wise, you're in charge. As soon as that
Huh.
happens, you undermine the GM. But if
Right.
that story of Ziegler getting it all the way to number 2, yeah, probably giving up a lot. But you then got a potential franchise quarterback in CJ Stroud, potentially. Whoever they were going to pick. I don't know if saying Stroud, but whoever they're going to pick. It could have
Mhm.
been Young. I don't know. But let's better than fucking Garoppolo. Garoppolo
Mhm.
sucks, man. Do you know what I mean? I'd
Yeah.
rather they take a swing at a rookie or whoever they would have wanted, like, even if it was Richardson, whoever, take a
Yeah.
swing, man. Don't
Right.
go, no, but they're like, no, we want steady in Garoppolo. That,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
suck then. Do you know what I mean? So for
Um.
me, I like the Raiders, but I don't mind the Raiders, sorry, but for me, they're in the same category as the Giants. Useless, bin them, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So the way I do my Raiders drafts, because I do a mock draft every year for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The way I do my Raiders drafts is I literally put whoever is left at that spot and line them up, and I put it in a random number generator and just pick that because it's more
Get that?
accurate than anything I could
Yeah,
ever do.
yeah,
Because they are
yeah.
so just off left field with their
Unbelievable,
picks. So,
unbelievable.
um,
And even sorry, going Alex Leatherwood. They picked him at 16. in
Yeah.
2021, and then another guy wherever in the second round. Like, Alex Leatherwood at 16. What are you doing? And is he even in the league anymore? I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. He was with Chicago or something, but I mean, man,
Yeah, I
I mean
think he's
that's
bouncing around. So
that should shows you everything to know, you know.
okay,
Anyway,
um so they're standing at 6-8. I don't think there's a chance they make the
nope,
I don't think they make it. So
nope.
into the playoffs. I don't think there's any scenario. They're pretty much eliminated. So um
What do you think that? I think the only thing they do is they're playing hard, but no, forget it. They just don't have it. No, they can't.
no,
No, I'm with
no,
you. I'm with you. No,
it's not there.
no.
Um I'm gonna say nice things about this next team, although it's gonna hurt me. Uh, mm, I think Love looks like a good quarterback. Um and this guy's not hard to talk about. Jaden Reed. Like the the Packers won't take a first round wide receiver to save their lives. They wouldn't do it under Rodgers. That's partially why he left. Um, they're also 6-8, but they took a flyer on my guy Jaden Reed out of Michigan State with the second round, and he has been just fire. Like Jaden Reed's been incredible. He can catch anything, and I think he's going to be one of those better wideouts in the league and in years to come. And he's working great in Green Bay. Um, so I like me some Reedy.
That's your take. Well, my take might surprise you in this one.
Okay.
I don't like Jordan Love. I think he
No.
sucks. I hate him. I not hate him. Sorry. When I say he sucks, that's too far. That's too far. I don't think he's the guy. I don't. I think he's above average. I think he's good. I don't think he's the guy. I don't think he's the guy to take them to the next level. They need somebody else. I just don't see it. I think he's good. Don't get me wrong. I think he's good. But I see him as more of a backup than I do as a. No, scrap that. I see him as a starter in the league, but not for a franchise. Like I don't think he's a franchise guy. Personally, I think the players around him make him look good. And maybe that's one of the players that you spoke about now. You know, I just man, I know he has hot flashes where he's doing well, and maybe it's his first year. In fairness, I'm being overcritical of him, but he's also sat for 3 years.
Right.
So you know,
Right.
at some point you've got to be really critical of him. Do you know what I mean? Because he's about to get
Yeah.
paid. Um,
Right.
I, I don't know. I'm not very high on him. I'd love to be proved not wrong. I think I'll give him credit. He sat for 3 years and he's now given an opportunity. I mean, that's hard. But by all accounts, he never whinged. He didn't say anything. He just got his head down, worked at it. So I give him credit for that. So in that sense, I hope it works out. I just don't see it from what I've seen. Um, I, I've seen the flashes. He's good. He's very, very good at times. And in some games, he's been excellent.
Yeah.
But geez, the games that he's been poor, oh my god! Like sometimes I think, is this even a quarterback? You know, and but every quarterback
Yeah.
you can say that about, right?
Right.
But I think he's better than some quarterbacks in the league. I don't want to spoil it. There's a couple of quarterbacks out there that you might be high on. I don't know, but I think Jordan Love is higher for me than them. But I don't think he's the guy for Green Bay. I think they're going to turn on him
Yeah.
because they're so used to the whole being challenging for the playoffs and stuff like that. If he's not in the playoffs next year, I think he's gone. Or
Yeah.
not gone, but I think so. That's why I'm not sure. I got a big question mark. But he is actually one of those guys. I hope I'm wrong on. I hope I'm wrong because of what he's been through. So, um, other than that, I, you know, their defense. Jesus Christ! I mean, they've got good big names there, but they're sort of like hot and cold.
Right.
They-
Right.
every every game I watch them, I'm like, wow. Not every game, but there's a couple of games I watch them, and I'm like, wow, this is Rashad Gary and all that. This is a team. The next thing they're giving up like 20, 30 points. You
Right.
know, I could have watched the red zone. I'm like, how have we gone from 1 week being so hot to it being so cold? I don't get
Right.
it. So um, I don't watch enough of it to know or understand. Is it the offense let them down, so they're always out there? What I don't get it, So they're a big question mark team for me. I just don't. I don't know. They should be better. I think the Fleur, if he doesn't get in the playoffs next year, I think he's gone. I think Love might be gone with him if that's the case.
Yeah, and I
But
think
not
that
this year, coming next year. Sorry.
right. I think the Packers need one of those team leaders in the locker room. They
Yeah.
need a guy like Aaron Rodgers to
Yeah.
function the way they're built.
Mhm.
For
Yeah.
Ghostry and the fact that I can't watch this guy play enough, risk the potential copyright to watch Jaden Reed highlights.
Oh, I need to look at him. I've not really looked too much at him.
Oh, he's so good. I can't. The music definitely is going to give me a copyright, so we'll just watch.
Be careful because I spent all my day off doing copyrights. They
It's
pick
so
you up for
crazy.
anything.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
he is just
Wow, fair play.
damn. Like he is. I watched him every Saturday at Michigan State. I was like, "There's something special with this kid." And
And what size is he? Because he looks tiny. He looks tiny, but he looks small.
Jaden is
Because he's not small. I don't think.
he's a
Wow, what a
little bit
step!
smaller than me. I guess he's quite a bit smaller. So he's 5'11".
5'11".
He's
Oh, okay.
5'11", 187 at Michigan State as a senior. So,
Okay.
but he is fast. He can catch anything. Anything he can throw his way.
No, he does look impressive.
Like he has incredible body control. Like he just goes back and gets it. Made Peyton Thorne look like a competent quarterback.
He reminds me of that catch he made at the touchline and stuff. Even there, he reminds me a little bit of Terry McLaurin.
Yeah,
A little bit. Not obviously different players, but he seems to have a lot of grit and toughness about him. Even though he's 5'11", he seems bring her on type of thing.
yeah.
He'll go for anything, and that's what I see with Terry McLaurin. He's similar in that. He's got the grit in him, and he seems to have good hands as well, from what we've
Oh,
seen
he's got
here.
great hands.
Yeah, that what a catch! That is such a difficult catch to keep that ball.
So I have a picture of him at the Penn State game making a catch that I hope they show in the highlight. I don't know if they do, but it impressive in the snow. It was there it is.
There you go.
Not that one, but same game, just different catch.
Ooh, nice.
Like he's one hell of a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's not on my radar that much, but from what I see here, he's actually really good. Yeah, but I don't, yeah.
He's got hands, he's got body control, he's got speed to burn. Like he is a good receiver. There's no way. There it is. Oh,
Oh, yeah, no,
right
that's
there.
good.
I have
Yeah,
that
that's
picture
good.
in my office because that was one hell.
That's good.
He's just he's an impressive receiver. Hopefully, there's a guy like that in the draft this year.
You are, yeah, you
Somewhere.
talk with him.
Like he just gets it done. Gets it done. All right, go back.
No, it's good.
I probably played too much. Well, I worry about copyright because, like you said, that anything they copyright.
But if you speak over it, I always say, well, I spoke over it, made it into an educational video, and some of them do let that through. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's one of those things you have to worry about every time, though. But yeah,
yeah,
the Packers are 6-8. They're not going to make the playoffs either.
no,
Um, and I think there's a lot of question marks there, but I think they're rebuilding in a way Um, I truly think this is a rebuild for them. So we'll see
Yeah,
we'll see
they
kind
go
of what
next year,
happens.
man.
Yeah.
They go next year. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Tough. That's what I'm saying about the floor and all of them. If
Mhm.
they don't click next year, they're gone, I think. So you're right. It's a rebuild year. Let's go type of thing.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Uh, so a team that does have a chance of making the playoffs because the NFC South is garbage. The Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to be 100% honest. I have not watched a damn down of Falcons football this year.
Oh,
Um,
man. Bliss for you.
they are just they're not. I think they have some good pieces. I liked Ritter coming out of college. I think he's going to be a decent quarterback. I don't think he's going to be a franchise quarterback or winning in Super
Mhm.
Bowls, but I think he's serviceable. Um, you you have people like Cordero Patterson, Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Like receiving core is pretty good. Your defense is okay.
Mhm.
Definitely need some upgrades if you're going to be competitive, but I think I think Atlanta has a chance to get into the playoffs as that division winner in the NFC South and then get beat by 60. But
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm the complete opposite. I've watched a fair bit of Atlanta Falcons.
okay,
So I've watched more Falcons than I have Green Bay, which is maybe why I'm down so much on John Love. Man, this team, I'm so glad I don't support this team. They
okay,
do my nothing. I like Arthur Smith. I like him a
okay.
lot. But friggin' Nora, they frustrate me so much. Oh, man. Defense, okay, they're okay. They're not the best, but I'm not. You said it right, right? Serviceable is what the
Yeah,
quarterback is. Serviceable. He's not great, but he's okay. He throws too many interceptions for my liking, but he's okay. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But man, that core they don't use Kyle Pitts enough. They
yeah.
literally they can never get him open. Drake London, they don't use him enough. But when they do use him, he is a star. Cordell Patterson, comparing him to last year, I don't know what his stats are or anything, but it seems they don't use him half as much as they did last year. He was a proper workhorse last year. This year, you never hardly hear his name anymore.
Right,
Robinson, never use him, or don't use him enough. Whenever they use him, he's a star. He's got all these moves. He's brilliant, but they don't. Again, I think people are scheming against them all the time, and it's so frustrating because they got so much talent. They lost against the Panthers, dude. I
hmm
mean, what? They're always low scoring team. They have been for years now. And it's just so frustrated. I can't emphasize to you how frustrated. Every time we think, okay, they're up now, they're going to win the game, it seems that the defense just switch off, and it's like they just give everything up. It's like a
right,
la 20, whenever it was, against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
yeah,
It's like, well, we've got a good lead here, let's switch off.
right, right.
It's honestly, mate, honestly, this is a team that it, it's when you said to me just now that they got a good chance to make the playoffs, I was like, you must be frigging kidding me. They got no chance. But you probably are right. They probably do have a chance because the division sucks. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? So they probably do. But just when you watch them, man, I mean, the Buccaneers are by far a better team when you watch them. Um, but on paper, for me, Falcons should be better. I don't know what it is, but like, oh man, they need a new quarterback. I think they need a new quarterback there.
okay,
But they got Pitts. Pitts is fantastic. They never use him. London is fantastic. They try and use him, but he's always bloody double teams and stuff.
mm,
There's some games that Robinson doesn't even touch the ball. It's just frustrating. I know the double teaming these guys and stuff. I know it, but still there needs to be more creativity somewhere along the lines. I don't know. I'm frustrated because they're better than what their record says they are. They are better
mhm,
than that. It's just so, and that's why I'm kicking them so much because man, they should have won this league
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
like weeks ago.
right.
So that's why I'm probably glasses on going. they suck, but actually they don't suck, but they suck because they keep bloody losing to
Right.
the Panthers and stuff, So, but you are right; they have got a chance. I think on their day against the Buccaneers, I think they would beat Buccaneers, but if they play like a switch off, then the Buccaneers would, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't. I just get frustrated with this team, man. I honestly do. And Ritter. I think they drop it in for the last game and last few games. I think they're bringing in that other quarterback, whatever it is from Washington. I forget his name now. I think he's back in the lineup now because Ritter. He's
Anakin.
not. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Ritter's. He's not as consistent. He throws a pick and then he does okay. He runs okay. He's away, but it's so they basically give him simple ball all the time. It's one look Ritter. That's it. And if it's not there, he runs. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's not good enough. He's serviceable. You said it. He's serviceable, but he's not. For me, in my opinion, he's not. Jordan Love is by far better than him. Let me
Yeah.
just say this: Jordan Love is by far better than Ritter. So when I say that, when I was down about Love, he's by far better than Ritter. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's my rant. Though I'm sorry, but
No, you're totally fine. Cordero Patterson has 7 receptions for 10 targets for 31 yards and 1 touchdown all season.
what the? And last
Less than a
season,
target a game.
gee, do you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? That's what I know they're using Pitts a lot more now than they did. But start season, you wouldn't even know Pitts was playing. And this year, there's been a couple of games now where you wouldn't think that Robinson was playing because it's like I think it's Is it Robinson? Whatever his name is.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson. Yeah.
Yeah, that's there we are.
Yeah.
But because every time he's the ball, he's dangerous. Whether they're running with it or passing, he's dangerous. But they don't utilise him enough. And I don't know. I like him though. And look at Erin Hack. Yes, the English accent's great. Jesus Christ. I don't know where that's come from.
Oh, amazing said. I love hearing the English accent talking about football.
Thank you. It's Welsh
Real
accent, but I'll
football.
take English. Real football. Generally, though, I used to be really into the real life football, the other football and rugby. Now, this is my life now. I don't even watch any football anymore. It's American sports to me now.
Yeah. All right. So now we're through the 6 and 8 of less than 500 teams. Now we go to the 7 and 7 Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson is trash. You'll never change my mind on that.
Nope.
They overpaid, and that was a bad business decision by Broncos. And again, the team with a little bit of talent, they probably need some more, but yeah, they're one of those mid teams that I wish would just get out of the way, and likely they're probably not gonna make it, but they're only 1 game out of a playoff spot, and
Yeah.
of course the Lions just crushed them pretty bad, but they're only 1 game out of a playoff spot, so anything can happen. So
They're like the 9 dark horses in some ways. That you think they're out, but they're still there somehow.
yeah,
I thought they were out weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? They suck, man. I hate this team. I hate Russell Wilson with a passion. The
yeah,
Seahawks my God, they fleeced the Broncos with that
mhm,
deal. I think Wilson's another one that's right up his own arse. That how is he even married to Kiara? She's absolutely a babe, and that piece of bloody midget is dating her. I friggin' hate him. I think he's an arrogant so and so. The fact that he had his own offices in that building shows me everything I need to know about him. That arrogance that he has about himself, and he needs that business team to have their own space and stuff. Piss off. You're not that good. Obviously, Sean Peters is an excellent head coach, without doubt. I agree with him. He's a disgrace, or one of at least. I think he sucks. I think there's a couple of good players there. Obviously, they got the corner. Satan, excellent. I rate
yeah,
him very highly. A big flop for me, not flop, but a frustrating play for me is Jerry Judy.
mhm,
He's hot and cold. I'm actually quite disappointed with him overall. From when he's been there from the start to now. Maybe he just needs a new start somewhere else. I don't know. You've also got what was that? The guy they drafted a guy who was super quick. KJ Hamler, is it? I think that he's gone now. So I don't think they've done well in the draft. Except for Satamba, he was like what number 3 pick or something stupid like that, or not
Yeah.
3, but he was quite high up anyway. So that was a pretty slam dunk one anyway. I don't think I think the GM should be gone there as well. I mean, they got rid of the last head coach, Aaron Rodgers' mate.
Mhm.
At the same time, they should get rid of the GM at the same time. I just don't know why he's there. Um,
Yeah.
I think he might be gone in a little bit because Sean Payton will have the last say in the draft. He won't have a say, I don't think. George Payton or something like his name is. Nice guy, I'm sure, but Jesus, get him out of there. They need, I don't know. This is one team I don't like
Yeah.
in general, never have liked them. So I'm a bit biased there. So I don't know. I just think that, again, they're talented in some places, but I don't know. They just don't get people to play. Judy, what the hell? It's not. He's not the player he was in Alabama. I don't know if he needs to start somewhere else. I don't know. And I just Patrick Sete, I was just so sorry for him. I wish they'd trade him, but they will never trade him. They said, you know what I mean? Which sucks for him. Do you know what I mean? If you know you're such a great player and you know you're with this sort of team, like what's his name? Boyles, Grant Boyles, or something like that.
Garrett.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Garrett.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He sucked his first year, but he's actually been pretty good since then.
Yeah.
But he's in the locker room crying and stuff for people like, "We suck, man, we suck." I'm stuck there because he signed a big contract with them. Jesus, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. They need a. I know they got Payton in now, but Sean Payton, but they need to get rid of George Payton. They need to. I don't know. I think they should get rid of Wilson. I know it sucks for them because they paid so much, but I just try and trade him, get him out of there, just get a new QB or sort in there if they can. But then the
Yeah.
question is, who do you get in there? Do you know what I mean? So that's another
Right.
whole conversation. But anyway, say suck. I hope they don't make it. I hate them. That's me.
Yeah. I have them out, just barely out of the playoffs, just because
Yeah.
I also don't like them. But we're in that group where one of these teams is going to make it in, and is that going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers? Probably not.
Probably not. Not now.
Probably not. Another team that a team of yesteryear that really doesn't. I mean, what does Pittsburgh really have going for it? Najee Harris is a great back. They have some decent young wide receivers. Um, but again, you have a quarterback in Kenny Pickett who just isn't a long-term answer. Um, and nobody else. You have Mason Rudolph who shouldn't have a job anymore. You have Trubisky. It's they're just
Yeah.
they're just again not a good well-rounded team. They have some talent, but you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
So and I like the
I'm in.
Steelers.
Yeah,
So
I'm in line with you, man. I Mason Rudolph started on Sunday, so that'll be interesting to see what he's like. Also on the weekend, and Saturday and Sunday he's starting now,
yeah,
so that'll be interesting. Um, oh man, this team defensively, obviously, TJ Watt and all these players great. Whoa, is that Meek's twin brother? Mandy, my love, yes, long lost brothers. We're going to do a DNA test tonight, just to
yeah,
check.
yeah, yeah,
We probably are actually related somehow. Um, I'm with you. Kenny Pickett's not the answer. I think they need another quarterback in there. Um, I, I don't like. He's an excellent player, right? I don't like the wide receiver, the one that pouts all
Pickens.
the time.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about
that.
George Pickens? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He's talented. Without a
mhm,
doubt, he's super. But he reminds me of AB Antonio Brown
yeah.
in some ways. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure if he is good for the locker room because he
Very
just
diva.
always looks, yeah, and he looks
Yeah,
miserable. It's like, oh man, if he's gonna be like this, get him out. Because the thing is, Tomlin obviously has never been under 500,
mhm,
so this year it's like, whoa, is it gonna happen? Um, I don't know. So I'm a little bit. This team it sucks, man. I think they've got. I think the defense is overrated. I think they've got a good defense, but people keep saying, "Oh, number one defense," or they're one of the best defense in the league. I'm not sure anymore if they are. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say they're one of the best defense. I think they've got a handful of great players,
Hmm.
but I would be interested. I don't know where they rank as a defense, no idea. But I don't know. I don't think they're as good as
They're
what people
still
make
top
out.
10. They're they're ranked ninth overall in
Ninth.
defense in
Okay.
overall defense. So
Okay. It's good. But the way people speak about it, the top three, and like,
yeah,
I don't think so. But ninth, tenth, yeah, that makes sense. It's still good, but the offense, man, defense, must be so frustrated. Um, but yeah, they need it. You're right. They're just mediocre. I don't. Najee. I mean, I would love to see him with a proper quarterback.
yeah.
In some way that they're not so reliant on it because I think they're going to wear him down like they did with Henry
Mhm.
in the Titans. They're just going to overplay him too much and he's going to get injured. He's going to suck and stuff like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you on this one. Man. I don't think they're going to. They need an overhaul. I think, and
Yeah.
that includes looking at Tomlin as well. Do you know what I mean? But that's a big move then. So
Yeah. Hell, they've only had a couple coaches in Pitt, so um, to fire Tomlin would be whew, that could be a
yeah,
mess.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, they're on the fringe. They're good, but not great. Um, Who Dat Nation, my second team, because as a
Okay.
Lions fan, you have to have a second team because we're normally terrible.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
God, this team's such a mess and probably shouldn't be where they're at. I still love Kamara. I still love Chris Olave. I still love the offense. Love the uniforms. Love the colors. Love the defense. I think they're a really good team. Uh, but again, Derek Carr is not a quarterback. Jameis Winston, um, Taysom Hill, like, do they win this division? Yeah, I think they probably do. Um, but who who knows? Do I think they're going to go very far in the playoffs? No, probably not. So,
Mm. I you named someone at the start that I wasn't sure who you said. You said Chris Olave and someone else. Who did you say that you liked?
Kamara, the running back.
Come on, yeah, fine, fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure because I thought you said cars. Like, oh Jesus, he's gonna hate me because I fucking hate car.
no, I
And
Carr's got.
then you said car. Yeah, you said car
Mhm.
afterwards. Hey, before I address that, there's someone saying here, can't all say milk. Mandy's saying, can you say milk? I don't understand it. Milk.
If you're
And
from
like
Michigan, you can't say milk.
milk.
Like it's just one of those things that we aren't capable of saying. So
Okay, and then Mexi Taxi's got here. What's she got? Can you say that? Diagonally. Diagonally?
Diagon Alley, isn't that from Harry Potter or whatever?
Oh, yeah, she's a weirdo. Yeah, so it is
Yeah,
something stupid like that. I've never watched it. Diagonally.
yeah, me neither.
No idea. No idea. Anyway, fine. I think we're on the same page a lot with this one. Great defense
Mhm.
overall. Brian Barise, I like him a lot. And all the signs were up on there on the weekend whenever they dumped that Tommy DeVito, whatever his name is. Um, so I hate Carr. I don't think Winston's the answer. I think he's better than Carr though. I'd stick him in because he's just like he'll sling it everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you would be entertained with him, that's for sure. Um, O line, I'm not sure what to say about the O line. Olave, what a prospect he is. He's fantastic. Mike Thomas is it Mike Thomas? He's just like now great player, but oh my god, he's always injured. Do you know what I mean? So we
Mhm.
never see him. Kamara, he seems to be around for 20 years. Kamara, what an excellent player he is.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one. I'm just surprised he's still around and playing so well. because he's been battered and bruised and everything. Do you know what I mean? He's
Right.
carried that team at times. Do you know what I mean? Since Breeze. Um, again, we go back to coaching Dennis Allen and all that. I don't know. I just, yeah, I don't. Every time I watch them play, it's like they're either great or they. Is this the same team?
Right.
Taysom Hill, I love Taysom Hill. When he comes in for packages, I think he's
Mhm.
great. But again, he's not starting quarterback, is he? Do you know what I mean? So, in my opinion, but again, he's probably better than Carr, so I'll probably give him a shot. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I'll default to you here if you think, oh, no, I really don't know with this team. I don't even know with this league because they all suck, So,
Yeah. The Falcons, Saints, so New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Carolina Panthers are all in the same, and they're all within a game of each other. Well, the top three are within a game of each other.
yeah, what's going on?
And uh, Tampa Bay and New Orleans are both 7-7 and play each other not this week but next week. So,
Okay. Well,
so
there we are. I think they decide themselves. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't know. They're all
uh,
shit.
yeah, they're not going to go far, but one of them's going to get in. Speaking of getting in, the Seahawks
Wow.
just beat the Eagles last night.
Wow.
Could they sneak in?
Phew. I didn't see the game, by the way. I haven't seen the game, so I don't. It's too late for me. But was it a resounding win? What was it? What kind of win was it?
2017, and the Eagles fucked themselves at the end. So,
Oh, well, yeah,
yeah.
okay. Okay. If Sarah P still here, Sarah P, she would have been absolutely overjoyed. She hates the Eagles more than she hates Dallas. So that means I've got a very happy mod later on today. Yes.
um, Geno Smith is again just how the hell does he still have a job?
I
Um,
know.
of course, Kenneth Walker III is the best
Yeah.
running back in football since he came out of
Yeah.
the green and white as well last year.
He's excellent. He's excellent.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good.
I,
He's
I
so
know
good.
you're biased, but
Yeah.
I will step that he last year he was untouchable.
Mhm.
This year he's still great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from what I've seen, but last year, did he get injured last year? Because for me, I think he got injured at some point, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Last
got
year,
banged up a little bit. He didn't miss much time, but yeah, he was injured for a little bit. So,
because he was on course for me to be the best running back in the league. Then he got
mm,
injured, and something happened. He didn't play as much then, but he's still one of the best in the league for me.
yeah,
Fantastic,
yeah. No,
fantastic.
he's a great runner. Um, I think that Seattle ends up being the odd team out. They've just been too inconsistent all year.
Hmm.
Um, and despite their win against the Eagles, I I just I don't see him making it into the playoffs. Um, they have Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Arizona left. So potential to win, potential to win games, but I just don't. They don't strike me as a playoff team. Could be wrong, but I don't see him making it in. So,
They're one
but
of
they're
these teams, though, man. Do you know what I mean? That you just they could. Do you know what I mean?
right, right.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with you. I'm with you. Everything you've said so far.
so there's four teams tied at 7-7. Well, actually, five. The Bucks are in. Um, so there's two spots for those five teams. So two of these teams between the Saints, Seahawks, Rams, Vikings, and Buccaneers are going to make it into the playoff. Um, so there's going to be a couple of them out. I think ultimately Seattle's one of those teams that's going to be out. So
Hmm. I agree with you. I think your whole analysis is spot on. There's nothing that you said that I wouldn't change. I think you're spot on, mate. Everything you just said.
Sarah
What
Peace,
what what do you think about? Oh, sorry, what did you say? Dog man, I grew up in. Uh, what
Texas.
do you think? What do you think of Drew Lock compared to Gino? Sorry, or I should say compared to Gino.
I think
Or the
Locke's
same?
probably a better quarterback than Geno, but I think it's close. It's
Okay.
1A, 1B.
Yeah,
So,
I agree. I think he's got a bit more of a fuck it, let's go type of thing in him, Drew Lock. Do you know what I mean? So I like that. I like that.
yeah, a little bit more of a gamble. Excuse So, yeah, I don't see them making it in. I don't know why, but
No, I wouldn't disagree with him. I wouldn't disagree with him.
the I can't even make a bad Stafford joke. Hate Matt Stafford. I
Do
hate
you?
Stafford. Hate that.
No way.
He
What
is
the
an
fuck?
asshole. Uh, in real life, he is a complete and total dick. One of the worst that I've ever met, and I
Wow.
don't like Matt at all. Do
Even when he
not like
was the quarterback. Even when he was
Matt.
the
Hmm.
quarterback. Wow. You're
Yep,
the first Lions fan I've ever heard say that. Wow.
he's I did not enjoy him. Um, I think he landed in the perfect spot. He's in California.
Yeah.
Um, great spot for Matt. Um, but yeah, I'm not a Stafford fan at all. I I think he probably hurt us more than he helped. So
Wow. I love
he didn't
this.
show up to work, and you could see it. You could see it with a lot of the activities around the city and stuff like that. He didn't he didn't care to be there. Like it didn't matter to him. So it it didn't matter. He he could care less. Um,
So, mm. Well, before you go further, can I counter that then? Do not counter it, but because you're still experienced. From my perception, looking in, I thought he's well loved, obviously. Um, but the way, so this is where highlight reels come into it. The highlight reel for Matt Stafford is of him, his shoulders down, he's throwing, he's still going. So he's a superhero for Detroit. And he landed in an awful place for him, obviously. What the Lions are going through at that point. So I felt that he's coming out as a hero. So when he won Super Bowl, I was like, oh, the Lions fans, they all must be up in arms. I go, yes, go Stafford, you're the best. We're so happy for him. But obviously not. Now, one
no.
thing that turned me against Stafford, right, was this. I thought he was a nice guy. Was this. Do you remember when they were celebrating? I got it itch on my nose. It's not annoying. I think it's my new beard. Mexi Taxis tell me to grow a beard because I look more sexy than she said. Um, so they're on that float or wherever, or they no, not on the float. They were on stage, and the photographer fell down
Hmm.
and broke a vertebrae or something. He saw it, and he just went, "Oh fuck it," and he went and just went back. I didn't like that. I thought it was a terrible look. My
Right.
first instinct would be like, "Oh shit," and you go forward to try and get the girl or something, not stop and go, sort it out. Tell his wife to sort it out. I thought that was a bit bad, but I thought maybe it's a drink. I don't. But that's where he
Excuse me.
lost me a little bit there. But you surprised me, Mike. You surprised me,
He
in a good way. It's good.
yeah, he was kind of a garbage human being. Didn't like him
Okay.
at all. But yeah, I think that poetic justice would be if they sneak into that seventh spot, the Lions make it into two, and we kick Stafford's ass back in Detroit to win our first playoff game since 1991. That would be poetic justice.
Would you go to the game?
I used to be a Lions season ticket holder, and I made a
Okay.
pact that I would not spend another dime on this team till we won a playoff game. Since we won one in the Super Bowl era since 1957, one game, not one series, like one game since 1957. Um, uh, so I don't know. It would be a toss up. I might, but yeah,
Because
I haven't
I,
since. So
I'm just imagining you though. What would you feel more comfortable about? Because if you hate Matthew Stafford so much, would you want to be there? Just in case.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
at least if you're home, you can switch that TV off, throw the remote, go, you mother effer, and just do whatever. where if you're in the stadium and he's trouncing over you, you're there, you're stuck there, and
Yeah.
you got to drive home. That's my mentality of what would you do to me? I don't know what I would do in that situation, but I can imagine you losing your shit. Be like, I
Yeah.
just want to be out of here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the worst place you can be. So if you hate someone that much,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I agree. I'd love to see this. This is one of my things that I was going to say to you. It'd be great. But I thought I was going to say this about the MB7, UB2, about the king coming back, and how would you feel? Would it be emotional for you? That's what I thought it was going to be. Not I want him back because I hate him and I want to
I would
trounce all over him.
love nothing more than to kick Stafford's ass in Detroit for our first playoff win since '91. That
Ah,
that would be a dream. That would be such a
wow.
dream.
Wow.
So
So I was right that you wanted this, but
yeah,
for all the wrong reasons.
yeah,
Brilliant. There we
and
are. I hope it happens.
I it looks like it might. It depends where the Lions kind of shake out. But it looks like they're going to be one of those teams that make it in. So uh, yeah, we'll see. But
Is there anything that frightens you about the Rams?
no,
No.
not really.
The only thing I'd be there's two phases I'd be frightened of. Their wide receiver core and
Mhm.
not frightened, but do you know what I mean? I'd be aware of because hey, the Lions have got. We could go on to the Lions a little bit now, but
Yeah,
I think that wherever his name for the fifth round, I forget his name now. He is a star this year. And he might be up for the rookie of the year, wherever for the Rams. Had a
Yuka.
great season. Yeah, he's had a
Yeah.
great season.
Mhm.
And him with Cup and stuff like that, brilliant. And obviously you got Aaron Donald, but he's whenever you say he can never say that he's regressing because his regression is still a top elite edge rusher. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though he's regressive, he's still one of the best edge rushers or defensive lineman out there. So,
Right.
but I don't think he's as good as what he was a couple of years ago. So, but he still probably needs to double team him. So, but the old line, or anyway, we go on to the line, but the old line of the Lions, I think I'd have confidence in them against Donald, I think. So yeah, I think that yeah, I could see this. I think the wide receiving core. That's the only thing. I don't. I'm not impressed with their running game, or anything like that. I just think it's mediocre. But Cooper Cup and the other guy you said the name,
Yeah.
and they've got a couple
Yuka.
of other wide receivers and tight ends that can pop up as well. So, but I wouldn't be scared of them if I were you. If that's what you had, I'd be quite
No, and
pleased.
right, and the one saving grace is Matt Stafford can't win a playoff game in Detroit. We know this. We saw it many times. So
I
um
love this. I
so
love it.
no worries there. Uh a team that I think will make the playoffs as a wild card, the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
Kind of resurgent. They have Detroit twice, home and away, and I forget who they have in the middle. Green Bay in the middle. So they have division opponents to end. Um, I I like what they've been doing. I like how they've been playing, and I think that I think that there's a chance that they probably sneak into the playoffs as one of those wild cards. I don't think it's as good of chance as uh as other teams that are by them, but they have the tiebreaker at um, and they're kind of getting hot at the right time. So I mean, they just lost to the Bengals. Um, their last couple haven't been great, but it it just seems like they're just starting to get on that roll.
Yeah.
Um, not. I mean, they lost to the Broncos by one, they lost to the Bears by two, and they lost to the Bengals by three. So those are
Yeah.
three of their last four. So they
I
just seem like they're ready to break through. So
I can't disagree. I don't like the Vikings because their number one supporter is Aaron Hack. So I obviously hate them for that reason. Um, but just in case she's not here. But no, I told you, look who's back. Aaron
right
Hack.
there,
We've got to hate the
perfect
Vikings.
timing.
I think what you just said there, you've explained there, is pretty spot on.
Mm,
They sucked at the start, but they've seemed to rallied back. And they're one of those teams that can sneak in. You're right. They can
mm.
just they can create a win from nothing. When you think they're out, they just find that. And if Jefferson's fit, and they've got Adelson, is it? The number three, the wide receiver. Oh, I don't remember his name. I think it's Adelson from USC. Used to
Uh,
be, isn't
Addison,
it?
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So they got a sneaky good core there. Screw you, Dylan. um, I'm not a fan of Kirk Cousins. I don't like Kirk Cousins. I think he's steady Eddie, whatever, but he's not there anymore. I just wonder what they're going to do at quarterback. I think the key to them getting in, I think if Kirk was playing, I think that you're right, they would make the playoffs.
Mhm.
I just don't know if their quarterback play is going to be good enough. Because going back to what you said earlier on about Dobbs, who have they got now? They got what's his name, the quarterback now?
Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins. I think he's another one similar to Dobbs. Um, that once you got a bit of tape on him, I think you can suss him out quite easily. So
Yeah,
if I was, might be a little bit backwards here, but if I was Kevin O'Connell now, I'd be creating packages for both for Dobbs, for
mhm,
Mullen, and what the other quarterback, whichever two you play on a Saturday, Sunday, mix it up. Do
yeah,
we put Dobbs in there for a couple of drops, then put in Muller, so they never know. That's what
yeah,
I would be doing now. Quick, that's the only way I think they could actually really do well. That's my only concern with them is Milan and whether or Dobbs, whoever's going to be the quarterback. Your other analysis, I think, is spot on with everything. And I think if Kirk Cousins was there, I'd be in agreement with you. The only reason I'm not like slam dunk, yeah, I think sneaking is because purely that quarterback. Um,
mhm,
and again, based purely on what your point was from earlier on about once DCs and another team see what Mullins puts on tape, they could potentially suss him out. Um,
well,
that's. But otherwise, yeah, I think your analysis is spot on.
yeah,
Sneaky team this one is.
yeah. And
I
I
still
think
don't
they
like them.
split with the Lions and beat the Packers. That's kind of what I base it on. Just because the Lions are still the Lions until proven otherwise. So,
But are you not But you're also going to be negative about Lions, though, aren't you?
mhm,
In the sense of because that's your team, that's what you do. You've got to be negative about your own team. You got to think of the worst.
mhm,
So I get it, but I think you're fine. I think the Lions will and should beat them. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's a sneaky team. And we talk
not
about
yet.
Dr. Pepper Club. I
The
don't
the
get that.
Niners,
Oh, Niners. Yeah, sorry. Bang
we're not
bang.
there yet.
No.
Um, Tampa Bay, another one of those NFC South, another one that's at a wild card spot. And we're going through basically the entire NFC before we actually get over to the AFC, just based on records.
Yeah, I
um,
know.
uh, the Bucks are an anomaly. They have good players, but I don't I don't think they're for real. I think they're
No.
still kind of coasting. I mean, they had the Panthers and Falcons the last couple Panthers, Falcons, Packers. Uh, so not good football teams. And they finished with the Jags, Saints, and the Panthers again. So another team that could win two of their last three, and maybe sneak in. So
Yeah.
um,
I'm the same with you with this one. I think they're not very good. I think in some ways they're overachieving. I think they've got some like Mike Evans, fantastic. There's a couple of players there. I think wow, they're great. But overall, I don't think they're a good team. I think the defense are now struggling as well. There's a player now he's holding out, ex LSU player. I don't remember his name. Um, White, something White. His name is.
Rashad White, yeah,
So he's holding out. It's like I think it's a bit of a disaster there. Baker Mayfield. I mean, I think he's holding it together just about. with them. I think he's one of those quarterbacks. Again, he's one of those quarterbacks I think that Jordan Love is better than.
Mhm.
So these are some of the quarterbacks I was saying earlier on. Even though I don't think Jordan Love is great, I still think he's better than some of these quarterbacks. But
Right.
I just don't. I mean, on their day when they hit, great. But that's what I mean. This is why I get frustrated with the Falcons. The Falcons should beat these guys every day of the week. It's just,
Mhm.
that's where I get frustrated. They somehow pull out a game here and there. These guys do. So I get frustrated with that. But they suck, man. I don't like them. I don't think they're good.
Yeah.
I think they're fake team. Yeah, lucky
No,
team.
I agree. I agree. We'll leave them by the wayside. Oh, we're back to the AFC.
Way.
The God, the Bills are laughable. Um,
Yeah,
just because of their history, but they're one of I still think that despite their record, they're one of the best teams in the NFL.
yeah.
Love Josh Allen at quarterback. I think they could use some help in the running back room, but it's not terrible. And then obviously they have Diggs and a bunch of nobodies.
Gabe
Um,
Davis, isn't it? Gabe Davis. I like Gabe Davis.
yeah, yeah. But it's
But
basically a good defense and Josh Allen holding the ship together.
mhm.
And I think that might be enough to get him in. They're currently ninth in the AFC, tied with four other teams at 8-6. So half of them will make it in, half of them won't. Um, and you have the Texans, Colts, Bengals ahead of them. I think they have a good shot.
Yeah,
They have a
I
good
think
shot.
they're in. Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I think so because I don't think. We'll go through the teams. I think they're in anyway. Based on what you said, I'm not. I'm not as high probably on Allen as you are. Um, but I would still say he's a top five quarterback. So I'm not exactly down on him. Do you know what I mean? But I think there's a couple of other quarterbacks in there that I prefer in the league. But I mean, when you got someone that's say fifth or sixth ranked quarterback, I think he's still extremely fucking good. Do you know what I mean? So
Right.
I do rate
Right.
him highly, but I don't like the small mistakes he keeps doing sometimes. The
Yeah.
stupid mistakes, the like throws interceptions. It's like, dude, just throw it away sometimes. Do you know what I mean? It's
Right.
just the small things like that I think that stops him from becoming elite. And they're all
Yeah.
small things that if he fixed them, yeah, he'd probably be a top two uh, in my mind quarterback in the league. So that's why I put him down to about fifth in the league as a quarterback. But as I say, it's potatoes. I mean, he's still a superb quarterback. Defense is excellent.
Mhm.
I like the tight ends, the tight end room for the Buffaloes. I like them. Um, I don't like how moody Diggs is, but there's no question he's an excellent wide receiver. He's one of the
Right.
best. I think he's great. Gabe Davis, I think, is a sneaky good wide receiver. I don't think he's elite, but I think he's a good second wide receiver. I think he'd be a good second or third receiver for any team because he's got a bit of a. It's in a way similar to what you were saying about the Green Bay wide receiver. I think he's got a bit of gritty, small, but he's gritty.
Yeah.
Um, and stuff like that. Because when he got drafted, they were showing a video of him. They asked the question of him, "Are you tough or are you intelligent?" And his answer was, "I'm tough."
Yeah.
Um, because he didn't want people to think that because he's so small that you know he wasn't tough. And they were like,
Right.
"Well, so you're not intelligent?" He goes, "No, no, no, no. I'm both. I'm both." Do you know what I mean? So, if I'm being honest, this team, it's frustrating. This team because last couple of years they should have been in the Super Bowl, I think, and
Yeah.
that's the potential they had. And in some ways, I don't think they're as good as what they were 2, 3 years ago overall with some of the players. I
Mhm.
know but then again, saying that, Josh Allen has progressed a lot more than what he was 4 years ago. So again, potatoes on that. What I don't like about the Bills, and I hate this about the Bills, I hate their head coach, Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do not like him at all. I think he's messed this team up. I think he's been given the lottery ticket of this team, and I think he's messed the team up. Obviously, he lost Abel, fine. He lost his Frazier DC because they didn't get on in the end. Lost him. I think that's a big loss. I think there's an ego with Sean. I think he's got this ego like I'm defensive, I know what I'm doing. Well, yeah, but leave this again. Stop meddling. Just let your DC and your OC do what they're doing. So
Right.
stop it. Just lead the team. I don't think he's a leader of men. I think he's probably a great DC. I just don't see him as a head coach.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion on it. But that's the only negative I've got on the Bills, and the weather. The weather there is atrocious. But apart from that, man, if they don't do it this year, I'm not sure what they're going to do. I'm not saying they're winning the Super Bowl. I'm saying they should be, because they're under the radar a bit this year. Where
Yeah.
previously they'd be like top tier, number one, number two. So now they've got a little bit of pressure. They need to win, do you know what I mean, to get in the playoffs. And so they're a little bit in the radar. So I think that would be good for them to transcend into the playoffs. They're going in the right direction, I think, for the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. So I think they're definitely in. Houston Texans.
Wow.
Don't take an Ohio State quarterback, but CJ Stroud looks like a good one right
Yeah.
now. Not for
Yeah.
long, but
Yeah.
not for long. Don't take an Ohio State quarterback. This is another team that seems to be coming together at the right time.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of good. There's not a ton of like wow talent yet, at least. Could develop into it, but I think they're a scary team coming into it. There's a three-way tie, the Jags and Colts in the AFC South. They're all at 8-6. Yeah, I think they're a scary team, but yeah, I don't know. I don't trust them.
To me, this is my possibly team of the year.
Okay.
And I don't mean that on the play on the field, as in I think they're going to go anywhere or even make the playoffs. This team, for me, has had the biggest transformation out of any of the team. There's no way in hell without. If you told me the Texans are going to be in this spot, I would have been like, shut up. No way.
Right.
They'd be lucky to win 3 or 4 games. If they won 4 games with CJ Stroud, they would be lucky. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the Panthers would be ahead of them. I thought that in their division they would be trounced by everybody. I just didn't. What's going on? D'Amico Ryan's coming in. I think he's been incredible. And again, he's another leader of men. So ex-player, everything so excellent, excellent appointment. I wasn't sure what he's going to be like, but he's turned out very good. The players seem to play for him. You just said it. There's no names here.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to be like great determination. Everyone playing for each other. CJ Stroud is balling at the minute. I know you say don't draft the what do you call it, Ohio State quarterback, but man, he is balling. Wherever he happens in future years, this year he's been a 5.5. I think the team have clicked around him. There's no way in hell would I have put the Texans in this position at the
Right.
start of the year. So that's what I'm saying. For me, they're the team of the year in that sense. If they make the playoffs, and I don't think they do make the playoffs, if we're being honest, but if they do make it, hats off to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a great season, or I think it's a very good season for them. Yeah, if they get in the playoffs, that would be an excellent season, because I think the Jags are slightly better, and I think the Colts are slightly better than them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I don't know what their end games are. So I don't remember what they are. So it depends on who the last games are and how they play. But with CJ Stroud now, is he going to be playing next few games? Because he did get a concussion, I believe. So so there's a lot of factors like that we need to consider as well. But for me, all praise to them, you know.
Browns, Titans, Colts. So
So
not
there
an
we
easy
are.
schedule to finish.
There we are. Yeah, I mean, look, if they can beat the Browns, then they deserve to be the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? So Titans, I think they beat, but then Colts could be the decider. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, could be for the division. So
yeah, possibly, because we get into the draft now. So
and we go into those Colts next. also at
Colts.
8-6.
Yeah,
Um, I liked Anthony Richardson, but now we're back on Gardner Mustache Minshew, and
yeah,
I'm very confused. Uh,
yeah.
um, again, I like Jonathan Taylor. I think he's one of the better running backs in the league. Um, they have decent receivers. Um, defenses, but again, I think they're another one of those pretender teams that you kind of look at and say, why are we here?
Hmm.
Why is Indianapolis in the hunt for not only the division but a playoff spot for sure? Um, um, yeah, I don't know. I Again, Gardner Minshew as your quarterback doesn't doesn't instill a lot of confidence in running through the playoffs. So, uh,
So transparency for me then. So I don't have a team, right?
mhm,
I want a team in the NFL, right? I want one, but I don't have one, proper one. If I did have one, it'd be the Colts. Colts is my first ever jersey. Colts is my first ever documentary I watched. Colts is one of the reasons I got into the NFL. I remember watching Michael Pittman Jr., his vlogs when he was at USC. He got drafted there, so I liked him since then. I liked um, Chris Ballard. I like his style, his southern drawl. I like that. I like Pat McAfee a lot. Pat McAfee
mhm,
is one of my favorite people in the world. Obviously, ex Colts, loved it.
yeah,
So I veer towards Colts heavy. I I got a lot of the gear. I got Butler's tops. Michael Pittman's got a couple of those. Got East, even Jacob Eason's number 9 shirt. For whatever reason, I bought one of those. So I got a bit of instill into it. So I'm a little bit biased maybe towards this, but I wouldn't say they're my team. I'm still looking for that team. But Jim Irsay and all that, and his daughter's lovely, great story. So this team, I think that Steichen is proven to be a one hell of a better head coach than what um, Frank Reich is.
mhm,
I think Frank Reich, I thought was okay first couple of years, but I think he's too nice to be a head coach. I think he's
yeah,
not a head coach. I think he's way too nice. I think again he's not a leader, man. He would be a great OC. I think Steichen from what I've seen so far is a leader of men. I think he'd be fine, and he's got a great brain. And I see we're going to the Eagles now, but I see Jalen Hurts regressing. Personally think, and a lot of
mhm,
that is down to Steichen. I think.
yeah,
So I think that they are potentially a bit of a fraud unit to be 86 here. Um, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think they deserve to be 86 somehow, but they are somehow.
yeah,
Um, you're right, John Taylor's one of the best backs. I think one of the best backs, not just running backs in
mhm,
the league. But he's not even playing anymore. Do you know what I mean? So
right,
how are they even doing this? You know, I'm not even sure. But the last game, the running back core was excellent. In the last game, I couldn't believe they were just running over everybody. So that was impressive to see. Obviously lost Anthony Richardson.
mhm,
Uh, I'm a big fan of Minshew, big fan of it. Now,
mhm,
I'm not saying I'm a big fan of him as a player. I'm a
mhm,
big fan of his character. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
The way I think he's a great teammate. I think he's someone you want in the locker room. I think that's what Steichen brought him over because he is great in the locker room. I uh, he's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, I don't think. But
right,
one thing I know about him is he will play his balls out for you. He will he will do everything. He will run around like a headless chicken. He will throw it. If there's no gap there, he'll still go for it. Do you know what I mean? So he's a little bit reckless, but something about him, I just love him. I want him to do well because I think he's been um, not treated right over the years with different teams. So
mhm,
I'd love for him to do well, but I don't think he's the answer for the Colts. I think Richardson is the answer, but I want him to do well as well. So I think he's one of those great backup quarterbacks. I love Michael Pittman. I think he's a workhorse, and I think that people rely too much on him. I don't like the other receivers. I don't think they work as well, and I think they're too heavy on the tight ends. I think where they were last couple of years, they like tall tight ends, and I don't Ali Cox and stuff like that. I don't think they're as good as what I think Steichen's inherited them from Frank, and I think
Mhm.
he will be getting rid of them because they're not great. So I think he's doing a lot with not much, should I say. Um, their O line has improved drastically with Quinton Nelson and everybody there. Still, I wouldn't say that like top O line like they used to be, but I still think they're solid now, more solid than they used to be. Than they were last year. Sorry. Defensively, I think there's a few key players there like DeForest Buckner, um, Franklin, but outside of those couple, Grosvenor as well. But outside of those, like 2, 3 players, there's not many great players there. They just seem to gel. I know Quinty Pay and Oba, Obayo something,
Yeah.
Deo, or whatever his name is. I
Yeah.
think they grow in, they'll be good, but I don't think they're great at the minute. So um, I don't know. I think they're a bit fraudulent, if I'm being honest. It seems and that's me trying to be truthful. I don't know. I don't think they'll go far. If they do, it'll be because of some miracle. Like if you think about Gardner Minshew, a couple of weeks ago he was Player of the Week or something, and they poured that green stuff on him. Next game he absolutely sucked. So he can be a hero or a zero. So I think this team depends on what Gardner Minshew you get every Sunday. So,
Yeah.
but I still think he's a great locker room guy. So I think they sneak in, but it might come down to the Houston game. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have an interesting schedule coming up, so it could be another interesting team.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals,
Yeah.
also tied
Okay.
in 8-6.
Yeah.
Uh, also, uh, probably the toughest schedule left in football. Steelers, Chiefs, Browns is their remaining schedule.
Okay.
Uh, obviously no Joe Burrow. I love Jamar Chase. Absolutely love Joe Mixon. I Jake Browning's been decent in replacement of Burrow. Good defense, gritty team. I I think the schedule might be just too tough without Burrow there, and
Yeah.
and they got off to a slow start and all that. ESPN has them a 38% chance to make the playoff, the second to the lowest of the AFC teams, only ahead of Denver. So, and chances to make the playoffs. So, I think
Okay.
that they're probably the odd man out.
Yeah.
But
I I think your analysis is spot on. I think if Joe Burrow's there, they're in. Without him, I think it's a step too far. It's frustrating this team because they got Joe Burrow and they stink every season at the start of the season. They stink. And then they come good. It's like start off the season good, guys. Then you wouldn't be
right,
this problem. I think Jake Browning is holding his own, but I think again goes back to your same point, which I love. They're gonna work him out. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna know that what he's all about. I don't
mm,
think he's good enough to adjust. I think again he's good, but he's not that good. And I think T Higgins, Jamar Chase are beasts. I think their line has improved a little bit this year with is it Brown now on the for Oklahoma left tackle. I think it's Brown. His name is came from Kansas City,
mm,
Chiefs from last year. Um, so I don't know. It seemed to be on the defense beasts.
yeah,
Love the defense. So I don't know. And Murphy seems to be coming in on his own. And what's 91's name? I forget his name now, but he's like the captain of the defense. He's fantastic. He's great. It slips my mind now what his name is, but he's it's frustrating. Are you looking it up because I
yeah.
forget his
I'm looking
name.
it up.
Hendrickson, something like that. Hendrickson.
Yeah,
Um,
Trey Hendrickson.
I think he's a beast. I think he's a great leader in some ways. I don't think he's as good as Max Crosby, but I think It's just that same mold, but I don't think they make it through. I think they're a tidy team. I think they're a good team. This is one of the teams I was looking to adopt as my team moving forward at the start of the season. I didn't get around to doing it, but they're one of them that I'm considering for the future because I need to get a team, proper team. Panthers was another one I was considering as well, but once they got Frank Reich, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this one. So I need to go for next season. But Bengals not this year, but they are. Yeah, if Joe Burrow's there, so Joe Burrow for me he's probably number 2, number 3 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
For me personally. So
Yeah, and he seems like a great guy. He really
yeah.
does. So
Well, it was something about what did you do on your week off? He was like, I just play games. Went on the bye week, just got the boys over. The lads came over, playing games, chilling out. So everyone, like, what do you call him? Jamal Chase bought a house right next door to it. I think that says a lot
oh wow,
about the guy.
that's cool. That's
Do you
really
know what I
neat.
mean? I think
Huh.
Jamal Chase paid, I think, 50% over the price because they weren't selling the
Wow,
house. Yeah, just they weren't selling it, but he wanted to be right next to Joe Burrow.
that sounds
So he put an offer in like 150% of the worth of the house or something just to get it. That says a lot about the man. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
about Joe Burrow. So yeah.
Huh. Yeah, they seem to be pretty close and
Mm-hmm.
pretty good friends. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that continues on. But all right. So this is going to be probably the last one in this show, and then we'll save the top 8 for next time because
Yeah.
unfortunately I got to give my little guys here in a minute. So wasn't
That's
sure
fine.
how
I
long
got
it
stream as
would take.
well. So yeah.
Yeah, and you got the trial coming up. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll pick up the top. I mean, the top 4 are obviously the really interesting ones. We'll
Yeah.
see who can make the Super Bowl out of those. Notably, we haven't seen the Honolulu Blue and Silver Leos from Detroit, Michigan yet. Weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
I'm looking forward to that one. Looking forward to it.
But we have the Jags. I've always liked the Jags. I've had the opportunity to see them a couple times at Duval in Jacksonville. They've always been. I consider them lion-esque. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Cats, maybe. But they've always been kind of like my Lions, where they're never. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but
I got
I've
you.
always,
I got you. I got you,
yeah,
brother. I know.
always kind of had a soft spot for the Jags. Again, they're
Yeah.
tied 3 ways for their division. Um, obviously, this is kind of make or break for Trevor Lawrence. His first year was garbage, but
Yeah.
we have ETN, we have Christian Kirk, pretty good wide receiving core, great defense, and I think that they're a team that could make some noise. So
Yeah. I agree with you. Everything you just said. This is another one of my preseason teams I was considering adopting, and the other one was actually the Lions. So that's my 4 that I was looking to adopt. But the Lions are too good now, so I'm not sure I could adopt them. But I get what you're saying. I got a sweet spot for these guys as well. I love Doug Peterson. I love Trevor Lawrence. I love what they're doing down there. I love the quarterback. I don't think they're going to go far. I don't think they're good enough yet, but I think they're building something. I think they will make the playoffs, and I think they will. They could win the wild card, but I don't think they're going all the way. But I think the core is there for the foreseeable future with Etienne, with Lawrence, and Christian Kirk, and the wide receiver core starting to build. I think they need maybe a couple more young people in there, and maybe another tight end that's quite young. But yeah, I defense is quite solid. They just need couple more players. So this is a team I think watch out in future years. I think they're up and coming, and I think Trevor Lawrence is already for me top 10 quarterback. So I think I'd place him probably 10th around that score, but he's better for me than I think than Dak Prescott and all them. So currently I would put him above them. And I know some people wouldn't say that, but I think he's got it. Whatever it is, I think he's got it. Considering he's had to go through a lot of. Look at the first year, man. Do you know what I mean, with
right,
Urban Meyer?
Right.
how he coped and how he dealt with that, I think is admirable. That's a year out he had basically because he, if anything, that was a detriment for him. So and to come in last year, I think he's further developing under Peterson. So I think he could be a superstar in the years to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah. Urban was the wrong choice. And again, Ohio
Ohio
State
State.
quarterback. So it could be just something with the program. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. They're kind of they're one of those teams where I it's fun to watch them succeed, and
yeah,
hopefully
I agree. I agree.
they have a spot here coming up. But they could be a dangerous team. I don't think they'll win much of anything. But
No,
yeah, I think that they're probably in. So
yeah, agree.
um, ESPN has them with the fifth best chance to get in at 77% chance to make
There
the
we go.
playoff. So
That's reasonable. That's reasonable. Yeah.
I tend to agree.
Hmm.
So, but that saves four teams in the NFC, four
Yeah.
teams in the AFC. And we'll
Teaser.
hit those next time because those are the
Yeah.
fun ones. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that have a chance at Super Bowl. But
Yeah. I can't wait. I've been really enjoying this, mate. I really have. I can't believe the time's gone. I know we spoke a lot. It's just I'm passionate about these things. I love to hear your reasons for stuff. I'm learning as we're discussing. I love it. So I appreciate the time and allowing me to be on here.
yeah,
And thank you to everyone on chat as well for being so gracious. I mean, sorry about people like Mexi Texi and Erin Hack and Sarah P. I mean, they're very rude people, but they're still lovely. I'm joking. They're lovely. I'm joking. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to do this again, mate. So let's
yeah,
get scheduled before long.
yeah, for sure. And I really appreciate you coming on, man. You've been awesome. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you and all that good stuff. So, um, but yeah, Dylan has a stream coming up. This trial is it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And Mighty is with us most of the time, watching it, slyly lurking there. You'll always pop up when you get frustrated. You're like, mother.
I
So I
can't look
love it.
away. It's like it's like a train wreck. It's like a car
Yeah,
accident. You're like, oh
yeah.
shit, I have to watch another section of this. But
No, I
God,
appreciate you, man.
that prosecutor, she's a piece of work. I just wish she'd stop. But,
Be too nice.
um,
Be too nice.
but yeah,
Yeah.
go check him out. He's awesome. And yeah, he'll be firing up his stream just in a minute here. If you're on the channel, I redirected right into him, so you won't have to worry about it. You can just go check him out. But I don't know when you're not starting for like another 30
No,
minutes.
that's right. I've started about Corpus 9. So Corpus 9 my time. So
Oh, okay.
uh, in about 50 minutes, I'm starting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So a bit
So
of time.
yeah, you'll probably want to come back later then. But I tried. Um,
Yeah, that's fine.
but yeah, so that's gonna be it for us this time. We'll do this again because I had a lot of fun, and you know a lot for a Welshman about American football.
Thank you, man.
I'll just say that.
Thank you, man. No notes either. No notes. I didn't do any notes, so
I even
uh,
have notes. I have
I,
notes, but
I don't do notes. I got it all up here, so
that's what the second screen's for is note. So
I
that's why I'm always looking that way. Um, but yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. Please hit that thumbs up. Please hit subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. And until next time, take care, y'all.